Hello, everybody. I'm live. Guess I need to, I have an Aqsa app, but I guess I need to put something over. It's kind of hot here, so, well, we won't get into all that. But anyways, I was going to go live this morning and I saw MA and his dad and Scott were live and I enjoyed watching that. They're so funny together. I love it when, shoot, 1 out of 3, let alone 3 out of 3 are into a live broadcast. Goodness. Who can't resist that, Okay, now I need to, let's see. Go to see if there's anybody in my live stream. And oh my God, I have like 5,000 tabs, so it's probably going to... But anyway, what I wanted to talk about, I really was going to go live stream, and then I saw MA was on. I was like, I'm not going to do that. So maybe, I'm hoping I'll be on in the morning. And I want to have a set schedule, at least for the next, at least for the next 3 weeks, because there might be some other things beyond that I can't control, but at least for the next 3 weeks, I would like to do that. But what I want to talk about is, I haven't been watching anything. I don't know what any of the new Mandela effects are. Nothing. I actually haven't even been watching like my go-to streams for and I've done part of them, like Naughty Beaver and Mr. MBB333 and WSO, and those are all the ones that I look to as far as like what's happening in the world. And and I've already said I want to talk about more Christian stuff. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything lately. The reason I haven't done anything is that for one, I just don't really know what I can contribute to anything. I feel like I can contribute to, and I'm not saying that there's like a very small niche, a very small niche of people that are going to relate to me. For one, Mandela affected. For two, Christian. For three, like other stuff, other variables. Now, I will say that, I had a conversation with my son. My son turned 25 a couple days ago. How in the world did I get to be old enough to have a 25-year-old in the first place? And then, I don't know. They sometimes listen and watch these streams, so I have to be careful with what I say. But both of them are pretty much atheists, and that's not how they were raised by me. And it bothers me. And I don't know what to make of that. Other than God says in the Bible that, it's his job to bring people to himself. And so I'm trusting in God that he's going to do that. That's all I can say about it, really. Okay, my sky's 5D. Cheers from Portland. Yay, hello. Hi, QP. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Dark Wolf. Google this. Korrie, Still with the dash. I've been wondering if you were going to change it on purpose or it was going to change by itself. I've been wondering that for like ages because, you know, that is a crazy thing for you guys that don't know. I was live on that stream where Korrie Jade's name changed to a dash and she did not do it herself. It was like some kind of weird supernatural or quantum shift or who knows what the F up, you know, and I'm a Christian and I still cuss a little. I like there's this one handle on YouTube that's like, I'm a Christian, but I cuss a little or something like that. That's the greatest handle in the world, you know. Hi, Poppie. But you guys, I haven't been listening to anything. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with anything. And, you know, even though I just said that I'm a Christian, I still cuss. Just like I just did just now. And the things that matter to me are Bible changes. And you guys, when I hear these things on Christian channels, and I am a Christian totally, and I've talked about this before. I think I even talked about in my last live stream. When they say that, you know, the Bible is changed or whatever, how long do you think the Bible changes that have been happening? You know, because I think, you know, if you look at it from the perspective, I'm talking to people, I'm talking to everyone, but Christians in particular. If you look at it from the perspective of how long have these Bible changes been happening, and was the Council of Nicaea legit, or was it just a ruse to, like, you know, put out what the quote unquote agenda of mainstream Christianity or whatever? Because I've talked about this in my other live streams, as far as like, in God, there is no darkness at all. I hold on to that verse. I don't care what other Christians say, that God did not create evil. I don't care if that's what the Bible says. It's wrong. If you believe that, I mean, I would love to debate it with you. I'm not saying you're not a Christian or whatever, because I know there are Christians that I respect that I don't agree with that at all. I think God is pure love and light. And you know, when I talk about love and light, I'm not talking about the New Age love and light. And that might be like a disappointment to some. And it might be like a great thing to others. I don't really care. I'm telling you what I believe. I don't believe that God had any part in evil. God is all good. He gave us free will. That doesn't make him evil. It makes us evil. It makes us evil in what our choices are and what, you know, because, I mean, if you say that, I mean, if you're Mandela affected and you say that the Bible has changed, how do you know that it hasn't changed like throughout time? Until just like a couple of years ago. How do you freaking know? You don't know that. You know? I mean, there's things of the Bible that says God, and it renders it created evil. That is not, if you look at the original Greek and Hebrew, and I encourage you, everyone, and I need a video on this, and I've been saying I'm going to, e-sword.net, or I think something like that. you look at the original Greek and Hebrew. Look at the original Greek and Hebrew. It doesn't say that. It says, like, you know, he causes calamity. Well, yeah, he let Satan put all these afflictions on Job. And I know I've already said this, and so I don't necessarily want to go into it all again. I'm just saying that it's important to me. All these things are very, very important to me. Okay. Truth and Light, thank you for being here. Google this. All around, I've been trying to be more active in my offline world, but I can't. I know. Well, that's the thing, is that, you know, I've been missing stuff. I've been missing live streams that I'm normally a part of. Normally, I always am a part of, like, MA and Scott, and, you know, to a certain extent, Scarab. I mean, not really every time like I used to, but, like, you know, I usually would be there like half the time or a third of the time. I'm not into it, because the reason I'm not into all this stuff right now, you guys, is because when I look at the so-called quote unquote evidence of crap that's happening right now, it's like almost like the Mandela effect is a distraction in a way. And I would honestly like to hear all of your guys' opinion on that, because the reason I'm saying that is that I obviously am Mandela affected. I've logged, like, I mean, I'm not like MA. I haven't logged like 10,000, but I've logged like over probably 200 at least Mandela effects for me. But the thing is that what we're supposed to be focusing on? You know, what are we supposed to be focusing on? You know, are we supposed to be focusing on that? I mean, I could give a crap less about logo changes right now. I don't care. I don't honestly care at all about stuff like that. I mean, or even, you know, people say body changes. I don't care about those necessarily, but I do when it affects me, because, like, you know, whenever I've had like a lot of pain in my thumbs and things like that, which I know were related to the Mandela effect for sure. I mean, and then also my feet lately, I've had like things with my feet that I'm pretty sure are related to the Mandela effect. So when I see body changes that affect me, I care about it. Otherwise, I don't really give a crap, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't give a crap when, like, other people are dealing with it. Like, if other people are dealing with like heart changes or kidney changes or whatever, I want to be supportive of that person and say, yeah, I agree with you that all these things have changed, you know, where the heart is not in the right spot and the kidneys are not in the right spot and everything. But for me, it's like, it doesn't really matter because it hasn't affected me. And I'm not saying that that's like, gosh, that's such a selfish point of view, isn't it? Really? You know, it's such a selfish point of view. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. I don't really care, you know, because I just think that all this crap is like a distraction for us to a bigger picture of what's going on. And I'm not going to be popular when I say this next part. I'm not into the New Age channels at all. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't believe in like going to the light. I don't believe in like when people say all love and all this crap. You know, it sounds good on paper. It sounds good, whatever. You know, and then people who don't agree with Christianity will say that, well, you know, it's out of fear or whatever. That's not what I think about Jesus at all. I don't think about Jesus in fear. I think of him as loving me totally and completely and having done miraculous things in my life. Okay, let me just tell you, and I may have already said this in a long time ago broadcast, but let me just tell you this once again, okay? I was in Cairo, Egypt. I lost my wallet in a taxi cab in Cairo, Egypt. Okay? That's like New York City. Who's going to return a wallet in New York City or Cairo, Egypt to you? Well, I got it returned to me after having prayed. And do you know that like over the next 5 years, I lost my wallet like 4 or 5 times, and every freaking time it was returned to me. Every time. I left it in the Denver airport in the parking garage. It was returned to me. I left it on top of a car and it flew into a ditch. It was returned to me. Do you think that like 5 or 6 times of that happening, that's coincidence? No. And I prayed every time to God and he returned it every single time. It was a sign. In fact, I would love to lose, which shoot, I don't even have any money in my wallet right now. I would love to lose my wallet right now and have it returned to me, because I would know that that's another sign that God is looking out for me. That just doesn't happen. Do you know how many times that has happened to me? Probably, okay, at least 7. And the main one being in Cairo. In Cairo, a city the size of New York City, and my wallet that I left in a taxi cab was returned to me. You've got to be kidding me. That's not coincidence. It's not. And it's not just pure random luck either. I've talked about it before, but I'm just saying that. All right, let me go back up to the chat. I'm a weird person in that I love all the physics and the science surrounding all this crap. I love it. I love debating all that stuff. I love looking into, look at my videos on niobium and CERN and all this stuff that I did earlier. But at the same time, I am a Christian, and I'm never going to deny that. I'm never going to go away from that. Hi, Candied. I love it when it rains. That's awesome. Thank you, Candied. Hi, Noble. You can get a wallet with a chain. I want to know what you mean by that. Hi, Master Richie. Now, you guys know, and I've said this before, Noble's one of my favorites, because the reason I love Noble is because he has a Christian perspective, and he also has the science perspective, the geography perspective. And so Guys for Wins, hello. North Star, hello. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. I hope you're affected. Tell everybody what you're affected with. I'm always curious to know, like, newcomers, like, what was their trigger. Now, let me just talk about that for a minute, which I know I have a million times before, but let's just talk about that for a second. Because my first trigger was the fact that, well, first of all, I had seen all these changes since 1982. I saw John Deere change. I saw Sally Fields to Field. I saw Christopher Reeves to Reeve. I saw Rod Sterling to Sterling. Charles Schultz with the T to without the T. I saw and there's other ones. There's like two. There's not a whole lot, but like maybe 2 or 3 others that I saw. And these were all in the 80s. And I was a person that had a photographic memory. That photographic memories don't matter anymore because everything changes. It was like, I know. I mean, I used to be able to study stuff, and I would look on it on a page and know exactly where it was on a page and exactly what it said. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that anymore because of age and probably too much weed and alcohol, whatever, But at the time, I'm talking about in the 80s, I wasn't like that, and I wasn't like that through the 90s or early 2000s at all either. And so it's like, can you guys hear the wind in the background? I have my windows open and holy crap, I should be getting some footage of this lightning for some like sideways lightning that's new. I was telling somebody today how, do you know that lightning goes up from the ground and sideways and it never did before? And they're like, what? So it's kind of funny. Oh, the Sri Lanka. Poppie says something about the Sri Lanka. Yes, to know, like, if Noble, since Noble's here, Noble, do you remember Sri Lanka being on the southwestern side of India versus northeastern, or I mean, not northeastern, southeastern side? Because that is a huge Mandela that a lot of people don't remember. And I would love to know. I would love to know if Noble remembers that or anybody else in the chat. That would be great because I remember Sri Lanka being southwestern of India, not southeastern. So that would be great if people can comment on that. Hi, Alone One. You guys, if I missed anybody in the chat, it's not on purpose. It's kind of like flying all over the place. Wes, I love you. You know I do. Shoot. You said you're going to be right back, so you're probably not even going to hear me say that. Love you. Let's see here. And hello. Good to see you. Okay. Simon says, awesome, so long. Great to see you. And I want to do another interview with you at some point as well. I love the British ask because, we have a lot of the same, but there's also differences. And so it's kind of neat to compare notes on that. Okay, Master Richie says, are being in such a position that here in California, we would have gotten a tsunami if they got hit. Well, yeah, I don't know how that would relate to the other stuff, but okay. Noble says no, but it could have been long beforehand. I do remember it further south and straight, not twisted, but like New Zealand, it could have been moving for a while. Well, see, and that's why when I come in and say that I've felt these effects, which I have, I think a lot of the times when people say, this has changed or whatever. Sometimes I say, well, has it? But then I question myself because I have a dual memory. But I think it's because I've stuff since 1982. And so, like, why would I be experiencing stuff since then? I mean, I've talked to Noble and others, and because to me that means, not that I don't think CERN and D-Wave have any. I do think they have a part in some of this. I do, but there were rudimentary particle colliders and other stuff in 1982. And also you have to consider retrocausality, so is my memory from 1982, my first memory of John Deere changing to, and not like that important. When I think of all the stuff happening now, is so much more important. Like potential, this dragon coming out of, like, when you BSO, when you listen to Naughty Beaver, when you listen to Global Witness, when you listen to like all these channels, and hopefully you do because you need to if you haven't, Og Tellez, he's not from a Christian perspective, but I definitely have gleaned some very good information from Og Tellez, AUG space TELLEZ. He's one of my favorite channels, and I started from the beginning on his, and but it's like, when you look at all this stuff, is like, and then I look at my past history and I think of all these name changes and logo changes and crap. I'm like, what did that ever really matter? See, that's why I think it's a distraction. Okay, first, there's one level where people don't see anything. Okay. Then there's another level where people see, like, they start to see logo changes or name changes or whatever. And then there's a deeper level where they're looking into why and wherefore and how come and what's the cause. And then also, not just, there's even a fourth level, I believe, which says, what's happening right now, that we can look at and freak out about. Honestly. What year did McDonald's change for you? Noble says. I've heard of it. It was in the 80s sometime, Noble. Yeah. And then and even Suso says the same thing. And that's what's weird. It was in the 80s. Because see, all those things happened in the 80s for me. And see, so that's why when people say it's solely CERN, now I'm counting that CERN or D-Wave or anything is part of it. I'm not at all. I'm just saying, what are the evidences? And the evidences are that people have experienced this from the 80s, and perhaps even, I would love to hear from people who've experienced anything from the 70s or 60s. God, that would be great. Now, the first one that I had was 82 that I know of. I might have had, ones before that. But, and why did I experience it in 1982? And why was it 1982? You have to consider all the possibilities of this stuff. You just do. Okay, Simon says you emailed me. Yeah. Simon says I definitely want to get with you. I definitely want to. Damn, I wish I could see. I'm so behind in the chat, and I'm like trying to. Okay, Noble says it could have been long beforehand. I do remember it further south. Okay, I think you're talking about Australia there. I'm way behind in the chat, so I'm like going up and down and all that stuff. You guys, I probably missed a ton. And if I did, it's not on purpose. Okay, wait. I want to see what Poppy said. She said something about McDonald's changed for you in the late 80s. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay, Patrick. I love you, Patrick. I'm so glad you're here. Wonderful to see you. PoppieElm remembers John Deere changing in the 80s. Yes. See, and I mean, my family, I live on a farm that farms wheat and corn. You guys, we got a new tractor or combine. I think it was new combines. Combines are, it's weird that I even have to explain what a combine is. A combine is something that goes through the field and harvests the wheat or the corn. You can put different headers on it. They're called headers. And one header will harvest corn, and one header will harvest wheat. And then there's other headers that will do millet, oats, whatever. But anyways, we mostly did wheat at that time. Now we do a lot of corn now, but at that time it was mostly wheat. And so I remember this, and honestly, I don't remember if it was a tractor or a combine, but it came in the yard and I saw the E on it and I'm like, what's that? Why did they do that? But it goes along with, and I've hated to say this on my broadcast a lot of times. It also goes with the time that I tried to commit suicide. When a friend of mine committed suicide, and I tried as well, and I took and it may not have happened, but it may have triggered me in some way. I think it either happened then, or it triggered me in some way where I shifted, so that I was just so distraught and so upset that something happened at that time. And the reason I say 1982 is because I know he died in May of 1982. My friend did. All right. And then there's been other people who have talked about that as well. Okay, you guys, I hate that I'm not up into the chat because I've just been rambling and I kind of look away and just, it's easier. Let's see. Goddess says, but people are attached to places they've never been. Yeah. True. Very true. See, I've always been attached to Russia for some reason. Well, and Germany, because that's where my family heritage is. But I've always loved, I studied the Russian language. I know how to read Cyrillic. If it's in an English word or some kind of word that I can, physics is physique and chemistry is chemique. I mean, if it's a word like that, I can read it in Russian. I know how to read the Cyrillic language. And I love Russian authors like Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Gogol. I mean, I've always been attached to the Russians. So it's was I Russian at some point? I don't know. Kind of strange. All right. I think I'm crap. But I can't even scroll down to see what all the chat is for some reason. Now Simon says I have a draw to Japan. See now, that was one country that for a long time I had any interest in at all. Japanese authors and watching Japanese movies. Oh, I have to see. Well, it's strange, and it's not for everyone. I mean, get one best foreign film prize at the Oscars. It's called Departures, and it's so bad. Let me see if I can do that. Also, it just looked like it was catching me like half naked because I'm half naked with a sweater around me, and I obviously don't want people to see me like that. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna put a link into the chat. This is dangerous, and I shouldn't do that, but if you guys want to join me, that would be great. Especially Noble or anybody else. But Noble doesn't, you know, I don't want to put any pressure on you. And Simon. I love you, Simon, too. And Dark Wolf. Well, anybody that wants to join, click on that. Preliminal, I've as well. But you guys, it is really storming out here, and I have my windows open. Hi, Raleigh. Hi, everyone. But I think that what I was trying to get at broadcast was that, you know, it's just so crazy because, you know, I have a mix of all this. Oh, wait, somebody broadcast was that, you know, it's just so crazy. Oh, wait, somebody's here. But you might need to mute it and see his.
Testing.
Oh, okay. Preliminary. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to have you on again. How have you been doing?
Okay. Not bad.
Well, tell me what your thoughts are lately. Stuff.
I didn't hear that last part.
Just tell me what your thoughts are about all this stuff lately, because see, like, I haven't been into like what's been happening like in the last week or two, just because I've been kind of freaking out about everything. But just tell me what your thoughts are about what you've seen lately and all that.
Well, I've been watching a lot of these animals acting strange videos of deer and birds, and, you know, like deer standing in somebody's front lawn, and just a lot. I don't know. Right now, it isn't as frequent to me, but there's been some really good theories on what's going on that I've heard, that there's that it's really frequency, that it's all happening, overlapping in the same place. Yet, depending on the frequency of your spirit or mind, people are seeing differently according to their vibe level. And
Now, have you seen any of that? Because for me, let me just say something real quick. On that level, I have a friend that has a dog that, well, I mean, this dog loves me anyway, but the dog is just like looking at me like, excuse something, or like, I want healing. And I'm like, what is it? You know, and I keep, you know, talking to the dog and everything. And it's like he's concerned about something that's going on. I can feel it, you know, and I can sense it. And it's
because animals are aware of things that humans can't see, and probably aware of the human resonance. You know, just feeling it. That's my guess on that.
Hi, Noble.
Kind of looking in a daze. Hi, Noble.
What do you feel about all these animal things, Noble?
I don't know.
I mean, have you experienced anything yourself? The reason that I I'm interested in the videos about it, but the reason that I'm interested in it the most is because I've experienced it myself with, like, you know, I had animals, but they all died off, and then I wasn't in a place to get new animals quite yet. But my friends' animals, like, they've always loved me and come up to me, but they're always looking at me lately, like, I'm concerned, like, what's going on? I didn't have any experiences with that.
Right. Interesting.
I was in the department store yesterday, and I think I encountered my first AI person. Someone who just seemed unhuman. Have you experienced this? Hello?
Me or Raine?
Either of you.
I haven't. No. I mean, everybody's asleep this day and age, if you ask me. I don't know. Everyone's staring at their phone and in a daze.
No, but I mean, like, had a kind of unhuman, their eyes and voice, and like the way they responded to when I talked to them. Just I felt like, wow, this is not a human. I was really fascinated.
No, can't say I ran into anything that weird. I don't know. You should ask them.
No, they were already. There was a huge line, and I wasn't gonna ask them anything like that. Besides, they could be just a regular human who's just very conditioned by repetition.
You know what's funny with the animals is I have been just recently watching. I started the series Zoo. You know that series Zoo, where the animals all go crazy and attack humans and stuff.
Okay.
And it speaks of a third, not a third chromosome, but a third helix or something, whatever, to the DNA. And I was going to look into that. I thought that had come up in people's research, something about a whole different type of DNA set up, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, just weird. Who knows? If we're changing physically, there would definitely have to be DNA involved.
Yeah, I want to go back to that store and try to film them, like with my cell phone, just kind of hidden, like without holding it in my hand, just have it sort of perched in my shirt, and just to watch the playback of them. Hi, Raine. Still there?
Oh, did we lose her?
Noble, did you see the episode, it was like 2 weeks ago on Raine's channel, where it was doing forward and backwards. Her voice was like going real fast and then real slow, and then like words would skip.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay.
It is possible for it to speed up to catch up.
Yeah, I think that's all I want.
In the data. I mean, it's a little unusual for it to have to do that, but
right.
I've heard it do it a couple of times in Hangouts and on Discord a little bit as well.
I can't get Discord to work. I mean, it'll work sometimes, and then other times it'll ask for me to resend my email in order to and I'll enter, I'll send it to the email, and then it won't work, and then I can't log in. So for me, Discord doesn't work.
Shitty. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Keep trying. Did you download the program, or were you using it through a browser?
Through my MacBook.
Through a MacBook, but were you using it through an internet browser, or just a separate program?
Safari.
Right. You should try downloading the program. Using it through a browser, it works like crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody has problems when you just go straight through a browser.
That's probably why. Okay, I'll try that.
We lost Raine.
Yeah, Raine, where'd you go?
She should come back here.
I'm gonna check the chat room here. So I had this weird experience at a department store when I was returning some clothes because they were too big, and I was switching them for medium. And this woman at the register did not seem human to me. Just very, very weird.
Who knows?
Not robot.
I don't really kind of think, I don't go with the MP player or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
NPC.
Okay, I've heard the NPC before. I just didn't know what that meant. Is it
non-person character?
Non-person character?
Yeah, like in a video game when you have just video game.
Yeah.
It's a non-person character. Often when you do have a video game where you have a bunch of people, a bunch of multiplayer, but then they'll stick in some AI just to fill it up, right?
Okay.
And yeah, they usually act kind of crappy for a fight or whatnot, but non-playable character, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, a computer person. Yeah, I don't go for that. I don't see any evidence to point to that. Anything convincing that tells me that there's people around that are not people.
It wasn't something I was looking for. It really kind of caught me off. I haven't noticed anyone else like that. This was just a one thing, and it's really, it was kind of bewildering. Oh man.
I mean, I do think there's people around. Not that I've ever met any, but there's people around that are, I don't know, MK Ultra. Could be messed up by other entities or whatever.
Yeah,
who knows? Lots of possibilities.
Thing. Well, Raine apparently has a short her connection.
Funny. She should come back. Last time I was talking to her, she dropped out and came back. So we'll definitely give her a good chance. But